Hello drone racers, I'm Mark and today on Drone Racer 101 we're gonna fly a BabyHawk. Not the crappy one I flew before, the new BabyHawk-R. Okay, not the new BabyHawk-R, this is the 2-inch. Why am I reviewing this one now? Well, sometimes things get lost in the pile of stuff to review and everybody else reviews it and it's not special anymore. But then it goes on sale. And I like things that are on sale. I'm a cheapskate. So let's take a look at this and see if it's worth $120, which is what you can get it for at the moment. So we got a nicely packed little kit here, and I like that. What's that? Oh, it comes with a Foxeer camera, and they actually give you the on-screen display controls. Wow. There's also a lead in here in case you want to put on a JST. Don't do that. Bunch more screws for probably replacing on the frame, which is kind of nice because sometimes things fall out, and then I'm assuming some of these are prop screws. These motors are super tall. Holy cow, 1106. You can almost read 6,000 kV. I think that's what it says. Between being really small and a terrible font, it's hard to read. There we go. So they have already installed a capacitor on it. And honestly, this is one of the reasons I wasn't super eager to review it. It just seemed like that would be super fragile. But then I've watched a couple videos of people crashing this thing over and over and over and smashing it and bashing it, and it seems to have been fine. So I'm gonna try it. Okay, that may be part of the reason why. Look at that frame. Holy cow. Okay, it's only 3 millimeters. It just seems like it's bigger than that. Maybe I'm used to 2 millimeter frames on the bottom, but it is really, 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 really strong. I appreciate that they put a piece of rubber on the bottom to hold the battery in place because I'm out of what I usually use. So I have the bind and fly, and I'm honestly not sure what this receiver is. We'll see if it's listed in the manual, but it definitely doesn't look to be a genuine FrSky receiver. So we'll see if it's any good. Maybe you're better off with the plug and play anyway, which is what is on sale right now. It kind of looks like a cockroach, doesn't it? Kind of nice. We do get a manual for the camera. I hope to not need that. So there are the product specs. That's an F3, which is kind of weird. I haven't had an F3 in a while. 12 amp ESCs, so it should be good for 3S. It's kind of nice. The VTX goes up to 200 milliwatt, and it is an EMAX tiny receiver. We'll see how that works out. It tells you how to hook it up and get it going here. We'll set that up here in just a minute. And then also the VTX frequency chart, which has a nice screen on the top, but I was worried about where the button was, and it shows you here. You can actually get to the button to change it right there, so that's really nice. I was kind of worried you were gonna have to take this top off, but no, EMAX is better than that. At least until it comes to binding the receiver. So the receiver is already installed, and it's right here on top. It looks really nice, and see that right there? That's the bind button behind all the stuff. I don't think I can get in there with a tool. Nope, can't reach it. The antenna's in the way. So I'm gonna take this top off, which means I take out these 4 screws, those 2, and then those 2. It kind of looks like if you take off these 2, you could cantilever it, but I think the camera's gonna get in the way. So I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna try it anyway. Yeah, not really. Just have to take it off. So there we are with all the guts exposed. It's not nearly as cool that way, but there's the button that you've got to get to. Okay, really quick overview of how I set up the radio. So we'll go into menu. I named it. We will bind it here in just a minute, but it is a D8. Make sure you set that to D8. Go through to inputs, and then the first 4 are already set, and then I set the next 4 to SA, SE, SC, and SD. That is here. So it's arm, modes, buzzer, and flip over after crash. That's how I set it up. And then I also have it on the 4 mixer ports. Now I'm gonna get it ready to bind, and I will then power on the drone in bind mode. Okay, to bind this to make it easier and safer, I'm actually gonna wire up my ultimate smoke stopper, and even though this is an XT30 connector, I've just plugged in a couple of adapters here, so it's XT30 to XT60, so I can use it for both. So now I can just push this button and flip the switch. If the bulb comes on, I can flip it off immediately. So the LED is on. That means it's in bind mode. It should change to red. Yep, there we go. So stop that. Turn that off. Turn it back on. So there's a different green tone, and that's supposed to mean it is bound. Here to actually test it, if I bring the radio too close, it loses connection. But I'm a little disappointed that there's no RSSI value with the D8 module that they're using. Most of those have RSSI, so that's kind of a bummer. Okay, I can see we're on Betaflight 322, which is good. UARTs are set up. I expect this thing to be totally set up and ready to go. D-shot, I am going to change it a little bit because I want motor stop. 4000, 4000. We do not need a barometer. They named it. It's S-Bus, RSSI. I am going to turn off air mode because this is not the way I want to do it. Everything else looks good there though. Let's see, did they change? Nope, I'm going to turn down the warnings because if I didn't say it, this does have a buzzer. PID tuning, I'm going to leave their rates. Those are not custom. They've also turned up the super rate to a level that I like it. And they've already taken care of the filters. So it looks like the receiver doesn't get powered off of the USB port, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Modes, I'll probably want to change this. Aux 1, angle I want here, horizon I want here. This is just me. Beeper I want on aux 3 because on aux 4 I want flip over after crash. Check their OSD settings. That looks acceptable, except I want warnings and average cell voltage. They have RSSI turned on, so we must have that set up in the OSD. Ew, yeah, they have it set to aux 5. That might be a problem. Well, is this a 9-channel receiver? No, that's actually pretty slick. They're giving me 8 channels to work with, so channel 9 essentially is feeding into the board, so that way you can see it on the screen. So at least we'll be able to see where it is, which will be good for testing this receiver. Okay, powered up so we can test the receiver also, which it's flipping out and going crazy. Oh no! Oh, it's right here. I need to change it to Spectrum, which you can't see, but that is TAER. Save, and there it's locked in. Everything is off just a little bit. But they have set RC deadband to 2, so it's not going to matter in this case. So they did this. See this? They set this RC deadband to 2 just to make it a little bit easier to fly for new people right out of the box, which is probably a good thing. It makes up just enough to get rid of some of the play in the radios, like mine that I've got here, but if I move it as little as I possibly can, it still moves the model. So that's probably good. While we're here, we might as well test the motors just to make sure. They're D-shot, so they should be good. Interesting, motor 4 seems to take more power to spin up a little bit. I mean, it's still acceptable. So while I'm here, since I turned it on, I'm gonna go ahead and test flip over after crash. I'll turn on that mode and arm it. And I should just have 2 spin, but they are spinning the wrong direction. Well, in this case, they're spinning the right direction for flight, which is the wrong direction for flip over after crash. So that means BL Heli needs updated. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that just because the way this model looks, I think flip over after crash might work really well because of the dome it kind of has on top. Some models it works on, some it doesn't, but I'm gonna try it here. So I'll go do an update for that. Okay, so I've got BL Heli open. We are on COM 10, which is my COM port. Yours may change. So see that error? That means I forgot to disarm it on my radio. So that's actually pretty cool. I've never run into that before. So I had to flip it off of my radio. I forgot, which is a very dangerous thing to do. Don't do that at home. Now we can connect and read setup. So this is running 16.6, which I would expect to run all the modes that you need for flip over after crash, but it's been a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and flash them all anyway. Okay, all done. Let's go try beta flight again. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We just have to test it here. So I've enabled it. Now we'll see. There we go. Now they're turning the other way. So now the motors are reversed when flip over after crash mode is enabled, and it will work properly. So now, I think once it turns light out, we can go fly it. Okay, I'm gonna stand back a little further than I normally do because it's super windy, but it's coming that way, so I'm gonna try and stay out of it so you can hear. Why is air mode on? So this is 2S. I'm not sure about these PIDs. That seems super soft. What's up with that? Huh. There's horizon mode. That's not horizon mode. It is. Wonder if I screwed this up with my BL Heli update because that's super soft recentering. Holy cow. So the rates are good though. Don't crash it. So we'll check rate mode to see if it works. It looks good. Seems good there. Just
auto level and horizon mode out of the box are set up really weird. So the house is between me and the end of the golf course that I normally fly to, so we'll see how it goes, but I probably won't go out there. So now I'm in air mode, and we'll just stay this way. The camera is really clear though. So that's on the other side of the house, so that says a lot about the model and the goggles. Let's see. Oh, this battery though is super low already. RSSI seems to be okay. And well, that's no good. We're gonna come back and try 3S. Now to 4S, let's try again. Whoop, there we go. Oh, no, sorry, no, 3S. I said 4S, I meant 3S. So there, I mean, like I said, that's around the side of my house, so I can't expect it to do much. We'll go this way more than we normally do. Brightness on these goggles is super high, so I will blend that on the goggles. Again though, this battery, this is a good battery. It just has eaten it up. I'm already at 3.5 volts. What's up with that? I mean, it's fast. Ooh, yeah, it's fast. That seems good, but my battery's already dead. 39 seconds. Battery's dead. This is a Pulse battery, Pulse 3S 550 battery. So apparently this thing is super battery hungry. I'm gonna need some bigger options. So I guess we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is a big old 850 4S. Woo-wee! And it is not ready for that. Whoa, dude. Okay, I don't want to ruin this, so I'm gonna come back in before something bad happens.
So I'm certainly glad I wasn't the first one to review this, because I wouldn't have been very happy with it. But I know a lot of people are very happy with this. I think it's going to be a trick of sorting out a few settings and finding the right battery. I didn't show you the flight of the 3S 1100 milliamp battery just because it didn't go very well either. It lasted about a minute for a 1100 milliamp battery. I've tested that battery with the Eachine Lizard and it would go forever. Just forever, and it didn't with this. So I don't know exactly what the deal is. It just pulls so much power to just make it unusable. So hopefully there can be a test and tune video for this to make it way more usable. Because like I said, people love this thing. But I can at least say, if you just want an easy to go right out of the box model, this unfortunately isn't it. It's gonna take a little work to make it entertaining to fly. I think it'll be great once it's working, but right out of the box, it just doesn't just go. There's much easier models. I wouldn't do this as a first model. I think you'd be better off with a King Kong that's going to be a little bit slower and just work for you and fly a nice long time. It won't do 4S at all, but it'll work. So if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know, what battery do I need to try for this next? I did do a 3S 650, which I thought was the perfect size for this. It's a Pulse battery, but maybe it's just not good. I need to get some G&Bs that size. So until next time, remember, always hit save when you're making changes in Betaflight. I don't know what I was thinking.